Hello, and this is Bogas Reviews, and today I'm going to be doing a review on the Walking Dead Collar Tops Dwight action figure. So before I do this review, I want to give a huge shout out and thanks to Kyle O'Neill for sending me this. I've been looking for this ever since it came out, because it came out at the beginning of the month, so now I finally have it thanks to him, so thank you. And before we take a look at the figure, let's take a look at the accessories that he comes with. First up, he comes with the standard Walking Dead base. They're all universal because they're the same. Has that same design and everything. Up next, he comes with a pistol. It's got some really nice sculpting detail to it. I like how it has that dry brushing of gunmetal over the dark gray collar. Looks really nice. And Dwight can hold it in his right hand. Now, he does have this finger that's pointing out, but if you bend it in, you can actually put it on the trigger. Like that. So I think that looks really awesome like that. And I think he can actually hold it in his left hand also. Let's just try it. Yep, he can also hold it in his left hand too. So that's really awesome. So you can switch it up for more posability options. And he has this holster right here that you can put it in. Just goes in very easily. Okay. And it just pegs in like this. I need to look while I'm doing it. That way I don't mess it up. And for his final accessory, he comes with Daryl's crossbow that he stole. This looks really awesome. It's actually the same as the one that came with Daryl, but it's actually got just a little bit of a different paint application. Like the arrows, they're a different color. They're green on this Daryl figure. You can see there how it's different. Let me get it in there. There. So you can see how it is just a little different. It makes it more realistic to me. Let me put him back on his base here. I did have him here just for that reason, to show as a comparison. And Dwight can hold this very well in his right hand, as well as his left. It is just a little bit tricky to get it into his hand, but his hands are actually a soft kind of plastic, so you can open them and spread them to get the crossbow in his hand. So there he is with the crossbow. And he can hold it just like this too. There. And he can hold it in both hands, which is really what I was afraid he wouldn't be able to do with these joints, but he can actually hold it in both hands and get into a holding position, and that's really awesome. You just kind of got to work with it. There he is, just holding the crossbow. Let's see, just a second here. And you can get him doing that. So I think that looks really, really awesome. And I'm glad that McFarlane Toys gave him enough articulation to be able to do that. So for the head sculpt, I think McFarlane Toys nailed it again. I think that looks so much like Austin Emilio, it's not even funny. I like how his hair came out too, how it's brown, has that dry brush and blonde over. That looks really nice. He's got scarring all over the left side of his face, which looks really awesome. I like how it's pink and has that dark red mixed in with it. Makes it really look like his face was severely burned. And I noticed that the actor does have dark circles, and McFarlane Toys even got that right. So that's really awesome. His mustache and beard are sculpted or painted on. Has a little bit on his neck too. I just like the attention to detail. That's a really good attention to detail. He's got some nice sculpting going on his tank top. It's white and has a dry brushing of brown over it to make it kind of look like it's dirty. I think his jackets came out nicely. The buttons are painted on nicely, they're not crooked. Although I did notice, where is it? Yes, this side has a weird red dot right there. Not sure what that's for, that's probably just extra paint. But all the buttons and zippers came out nicely. They're painted on nicely and sculpted, which I think looks really, really awesome. And his jacket is black and has a dry brushing of light gray over it. Makes it look worn. It's got some wrinkles sculpted in too. So I just think this figure is really awesome, and the articulation actually surprised me with it. You've got his belt buckle right there. His pants have even more sculpting detail on them. They've got wrinkles sculpted into them, and a dry brushing of dark black over there, or just black over the navy color. Here he has his pants rolled down at the bottom. And he even has more detail on his boots. Looks really nice. And he has tread on the bottom of his boots too. It's not just smooth. And that's actually what helps him stand, even holding this heavy crossbow. Like that. So I think that's really nice, because not a lot of the collar tops, just because of the way they're posed, can stand up by themselves. So I think it looks really, really nice. So now I'm going to go over his articulation. He's got a ball jointed head that can move back just a little bit. He can look down all the way. He can move side to side. He's got ball jointed shoulders that can move out this far. His right shoulder does kind of move a little stiff, but after you work it around, it'll move. He's got a single jointed elbow and a swivel. He's got ball jointed wrists, and that's what actually helps him be able to hold this crossbow completely, is the ball jointed wrist. He's got a swivel at the waist, but as you can see, this holster actually, his holster blocks the articulation there. You can move it just a little bit, but nothing to really count. He's got ball jointed hips that can actually move out pretty far for a collar tops figure. He can kick out this far. You do have to kind of move it around like this, but he can kick out and kick back. So you can get him in kind of a position like he's hunting. So you can get him in that kind of a position. Now, of course, with his arms out. Let me get him holding the crossbow again. There. So I think that looks really awesome. And he's got ball jointed boots. It's not boot rotation, it's ball jointed. And that helps with articulation also, in the, being able to stand on his own, because it can move up that far, it can move down that far, and it also gives it pivot. So that's really awesome, because that's how he stands on his own. So I really like that. Now I'm going to do a comparison to a couple other figures. So here is Dwight compared to Negan. This review wouldn't be complete without Negan. Let me get him. I think the height difference is good on these two. They're about the same height. Negan's just a little bit taller. I think that looks good. And then it's about to get a little awkward. Here he is next to Daryl. And Dwight is taller than Daryl just because Daryl's kind of, his knees are bent. So Dwight is a little taller than him, but just because of the way Daryl's posed. So you can see that they both have the same crossbow. It's just painted a little differently, because Dwight stole the crossbow from Daryl. There he is next to Daryl. So overall, I really, really like this figure, and I would highly recommend it just because of the articulation, the sculpting, and the paint, and the likeness. That's the really big thing to me, is the likeness. It looks like Austin Amelia, so I really like that. So I would highly recommend this figure. And that's my review. And if you like this review, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.